All right, Math 1, focus kids. Here's the key. Here's working out. I'm going to go over with you for the abstracting, multiplying, dividing fractions without common denominators and mixed numbers. So here it is. So the first one, when you add 5, 6, and a half. 5, 6 plus 1 half. Your common denominator was, oh, I did 12. I should have just done 6. Oops. Anyways, I made too much work here. But if you do 12, that's times 2 times 2 and times 6 times 6. I could have just done 6 and multiplied both these by 3. Anyways, I add and I get 16 over 12, which is 1 and 4 twelfths, which ends up being, that's 1 and a third. And if I would have done 6, I could have just called this 3, 6, and 5, 6 plus 3, 6 is 8, 6. Which is still 1 and a third. I mean, so you get the same answer either way. And subtracting, I get 4 twelfths, which is a third. I can divide both those by 4. And then multiplying, you just multiply straight across. There's nothing to cancel. So you just get 5 twelfths. And dividing, you don't divide. You flip the one on the right. And I can divide both these by 2, so I did. The 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. And then I multiply. 5 times 1 is 5, and 3 times 1 is 3. 5 thirds is 1 and 2 thirds. So there's the first one. The second one, we use 3 fourths and 2 fifths. So my common denominator was 20. I multiplied both these by 5 and got 15 over 20. I multiplied both those by 4 and got 8 over 20. And when you add, you get an improper fraction. So that's 1 and 3/20. And then subtracting, I didn't bother showing the work. And when I subtract, I just get 7/20. Multiplying, again, I can divide, if I can divide, cross cancel. 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 4 divided by 2 is 2. So 3 times 1 is 3, and 2 times 5 is 10. So you can take your time and study and get this down, guys. Now dividing, you never divide, you flip the one on the right and multiply. I can't cross cancel, so I just multiply the top numbers, the numerators, I multiply the denominators. This is improper, it's almost 2. If that's 16, it'd be 2. This is 1 and 7/8. For the third set, 6 plus 3 and a third. If I have 6 pizzas and 3 and a third pizzas, that's going to be 9 and a third pizzas. 6 plus 3 is 9 plus change. Now 6 minus 3 and a third. 6 minus 3 is 2. So your answer should be less than 2. If you drew the picture, you'd see, I mean, if I take away 3 pizzas, I still have 3 pizzas left. Now if I take away a third, shouldn't I have 2 thirds left? I'd have 2 and 2 thirds. Anyways, these two numbers add up to 5, and these fractions add up to 1. 5 plus 1 is 6, so I'm right, and I know I'm right. You could do that by drawing a picture. Here's 6 times 3 and a third. Make the 6 into a fraction, that's 6 over 1. Make this into an improper fraction, that's 10 over 3. So I divided both these by 3. That becomes 2, and that becomes 1, and then I multiply straight across, and I get just 20 over 1, which is just 20. And then 6 divided by 3 and a third, again, make them fractions, but now you have to flip the one on the right to multiply. You never divide fractions. I can divide both these by 2. 6 divided by 3 is 2, 10 divided by 2 is 5. Now I multiply straight across. 3 times 3 is 9. 1 times 5 is 5. This is almost 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. It's 1 and 4/5. Now this one, 4 1/2 and 2/9. I'm adding. I'm going to get my common denominator is 18. I multiplied both these by 9. Multiplied both these by 2. And I just add the fractions. I get 4 and 13/18. Subtracting. I'm just ready to go here. Just 4 minus nothing's 4. 9 minus 4 is 5/18. Multiplying, make them fractions, make it improper, and just this becomes 9 divided by 9 is 1, and 2 divided by 2 is 1. It's just going to be 1. Or you can have 18 over 18 is 1. And then, again, I made them fractions, and then I flipped the one on the right. And now you multiply, you get 81 over 4, which is a little over 20. 80 divided by 4 is 20. This is 20 and 1/4. Okay, I'm going over the last two here. I'm adding those, so I get common denominators of 15. I multiply both these by 5. I multiply both those by 3. 4 plus 1 is 5. 10 15ths plus 6 15ths is 16 15ths. Now 16 15ths is improper. That's 1 and 1/15. So then 5 plus 1 is 6 and a 15th is your overall answer. Here 4 plus 1 is 5, and this adds up to more than 1. So you get 6 and a 15th. Now subtracting, 4 minus 1 is 3, and 10 15ths minus 6 15ths is 4 15ths. Multiplying, make them improper. Multiplying, make them improper. I can't, I'm doing a cross cancel, so I just multiply. 14 times 7 is 98. Now 15 stays 15. 15 goes into 98 6 times. 6 times 15 is 90. And you got a remainder of 8. 90 plus 8 is 98. And then dividing, again, make them fractions. Flip the one on the right. And here I can divide both these by 7. 14 divided by 7 is 2. 7 divided by 7 is 1. And then I multiply straight across. 2 times 5 is 10. 3 times 1 is 3. 10 thirds, that's, if it was 9 thirds, that'd be 3. This is 3 and a third. 9 plus 1 is 10. And the last one here. So 3.5 plus 4, that's just 7.5. Just think money. Now what if you had $3.50 and you tried to spend $4? Wouldn't you be half a dollar shy? Wouldn't you be 20? Wouldn't you be a half in the hole? Or, you know, anyways, you get negative a half. So we haven't talked about negatives that much. So 3.5 minus 3.5 would be 0. So anyways, negative half. That's kind of a weird one there. Now 3.5 times 4. Make them improper. Make it a fraction. I can divide both these by 2. I can divide both that by 2, and I multiply. 7 times 2 is 14, 1 times 1 is 1, and 14 divided by 1 is 14. Dividing, again, make them fraction. Then I can flip the one on the right. There's nothing to cancel here, and I just get 7 times 1 is 7, and 2 times 4 is 8. So there's the answer. So I'm going to hold it up here so you can study. So anyways, hope you guys are doing great, and encourage you to do IXL. You can also try and do stuff from the other just Math 1 work that the other teachers are giving for Math 1. Anyways, rooting for you guys.